Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, and wondering what tomorrow might bring? For many older adults, these quiet moments are when hidden worries rise to the surface. Questions about health, about family, about whether the future will feel safe or uncertain. They all circle in the mind. Like uninvited guests, it's not weakness to feel this way. In fact, it's one of the most natural experiences of aging. As we move through our 60 seconds, 70 seconds, and beyond, the future no longer feels endless. Instead, it feels precious. Every new day is a gift, but it's also a reminder that life has limits. That realization can stir deep emotions, sometimes even fear. But here's the truth, you are not alone. Millions of seniors share these very same thoughts. Even if they rarely say them out loud, they worry about becoming a burden, about being forgotten, about losing their independence. They wonder if the best days are behind them, or if something meaningful still lies ahead. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 powerful psychological reasons why many seniors fear the future. These insights may surprise you. They may comfort you, and most of all, they may help you see that your feelings are not a sign of weakness. They're a reflection of wisdom. Stay with me, because what you'll discover may change how you view the road ahead. When we think about aging, most people focus on the physical changes. Slower steps, weaker eyesight, or aches that weren't there before. But what often goes unnoticed are the invisible shifts happening inside the mind. The fear of the future isn't only about the body growing older, it's about the heart and the mind trying to make sense of what's ahead. For many seniors, the future feels less like an open highway and more like a winding road with fog ahead. There's uncertainty. Will my health stay stable? Will my children and grandchildren still need me? Will I have enough strength to enjoy the things I love? Psychologists often remind us that fear is rarely about what is happening right now. Fear lives in the what if. And for older adults, the what ifs seem to multiply. What if I lose my independence? What if I outlive my friends? What if I don't leave behind the legacy I hoped for? These silent worries can feel heavy, even when life on the outside looks calm. It's important to understand this feeling anxious about the future does not mean something is wrong with you. It means you've lived long enough to recognize that life can change in unexpected ways. It means you value your time and your loved ones deeply. And it means you want the years ahead to be filled with purpose, peace, and dignity. This is why we need to look beyond the surface. The fears that many seniors carry are not just about aging, they are about meaning. And once we understand the psychology behind them, we can begin to replace fear with wisdom. One of the deepest fears many seniors carry into the future is the fear of losing control over their health. For decades, you've lived in a body that felt reliable. You could trust your legs to carry you, your hands to hold steady, your memory to recall details without hesitation. But with age, that sense of certainty begins to shift suddenly. The body that once cooperated with every decision doesn't always follow instructions. Imagine planning a simple outing, a walk in the park, or a short trip to see a friend. In your younger years, you wouldn't have thought twice. Now, there may be hesitation. Will my knees hold up? What if I get too tired halfway through? What if I forget my medication? This constant calculation can make the future feel less like a playground and more like a puzzle filled with unknowns. Take John, an 82-year-old retired teacher. He used to enjoy gardening every morning, but over the past few years, his stamina has declined. What once felt like joy now feels like a gamble. Some days, he still tends to his plants. Other days, even lifting a watering can feel impossible. John confessed, "It's not the pain that scares me. It's not knowing which body I'll wake up with tomorrow." That statement captures the heart of the fear. It's not only about weakness, it's about unpredictability. Human beings crave stability. Psychologists explain this fear as a loss of agency, the belief that you can influence your life through your choices. When health problems limit mobility, energy, or memory, older adults often feel their agency shrinking. This can trigger anxiety, frustration, and even grief for the life they used to lead. Another layer of fear comes from comparison. Many seniors notice how quickly younger people recover from illness or injury. A cold that once disappeared in 3 days might now linger for weeks. A small stumble could mean weeks of therapy. These changes reinforce the sense that the body is no longer fully under your control. Yet here's an important truth. Feeling this fear is not weakness. It's awareness. It shows that you value your independence and your ability to participate in life. There are also practical ways to soften this fear. Light exercise, a balanced diet, and regular checkups can help maintain strength and confidence. But even more important is a shift in perspective, recognizing that health may change, but dignity and purpose remain. Think of Evelyn Boscher, who began to lose confidence in her balance. Instead of giving up her daily walks, she started using a cane. At first, she felt embarrassed, but over time she realized the cane was not a symbol of weakness. It allowed her to keep doing what she loved, rather than staying home in fear. The future may hold uncertainty, but it doesn't have to be paralyzing. Accepting that the body will change doesn't mean surrender. It means adapting, and adaptation is a form of strength. When you remind yourself that your worth is not tied to how fast you walk or how much you lift, but to the wisdom and love you carry, the fear of losing health becomes less sharp, because while you may not control every detail of your body, you still control how you meet each day with courage, with grace, and with the quiet determination that has carried you this far. Another powerful psychological reason many seniors fear the future is the quiet but heavy worry of becoming a burden. This fear is rarely spoken out loud, yet it lingers in the background of many conversations, choices, and even silences. For decades, you may have been the one others leaned on. You worked, raised a family, supported friends, and carried responsibilities with strength. But as the years go by, role shift, the caregiver becomes the one who sometimes needs care. Take Herbert, an 84-year-old widower. He used to spend every weekend at his daughter's home, but as his mobility declined, he started declining their invitations. When asked why, he said, "I don't want them rearranging their lives around me. They've got kids, jobs. I'll just slow them down." This fear doesn't come from selfishness. It comes from love and dignity. Seniors often want their presence to bring joy, not obligation. They hesitate to ask for help, not because they don't trust their families, but because they don't want to weigh them down. Psychologists explain this as a clash between independence and vulnerability. Independence is tied to identity. It reminds us of our value. When aging threatens independence, it also threatens self-image, stirring guilt or shame about relying on others. But here's the truth. Loved ones often want to help. For them, supporting you is not a burden, but a privilege. Still, the fear lingers, because for much of life, older adults have been givers, not receivers. To ask for help feels unfamiliar, almost like breaking a lifelong habit. Consider Margaret Chishijiu, who avoided telling her son she struggled with groceries. When he discovered it, he told her, "Mom, it makes me happy to help you. It's not a chore, it's love." She realized her silence had been robbing him of a chance to care with gratitude. This shows fear of being a burden is often about perception, not reality. What feels like asking too much to us may feel like an opportunity to give back for our loved ones. Of course, the fear won't vanish overnight. It is tied to self-worth. But small steps open talks, accepting help, remembering reciprocity can soften it. Because the truth is, you are not only what you can do, but also what you mean to others. Your wisdom, presence, and love outweigh any help you may need. Asking for help can be proof of connection, reminding us relationships are two-way streets. To those who love you, your needs are not an inconvenience. They are opportunities to honor and give back for all the years you gave. And in that, there is dignity, not burden. Another powerful psychological reason why many seniors fear the future is the quiet reality of loneliness and shrinking social circles. As the years pass, relationships shift, friends move away, loved ones pass, and energy for gatherings fades. A once wide, warm community can shrink to only a few people. Margaret Barshasu once attended weekly dinners with a large group of friends. Over the years, the group dwindled. Today, her circle is small but precious. Still, when she looks at old photos, she feels absence. "I love who I still have," she says, "but sometimes the silence feels too loud." This shrinking of social circles creates fear, not only missing company, but imagining a future with fewer connections. Humans thrive on conversation and laughter. Without them, the mind wonders, will I end up alone? Who will remember me? Psychologists say social loss is one of the most underestimated griefs. Unlike a spouse's death, it happens gradually, like a tree losing leaves until bare winter arrives. The slow fade accumulates sadness, making the future feel emptier. Technology can deepen the gap. Younger people connect digitally, texts replace calls, video chats replace gatherings. While helpful, they can make seniors feel left behind, unsure how to engage. Take Emma, 77, who quit her book club after hearing loss. At first, solitude felt restful, but over time, days blurred, lacking joy. Loneliness crept in quietly, disguised as comfort. This fear isn't only sadness. Isolation affects health, increasing depression, memory decline, even heart disease. The body and mind need connection, and without it, well-being suffers. Yet there is hope. Many seniors shift from quantity to quality, valuing fewer but deeper relationship. Margaret finds strength in close friends, while programs and online groups also open new doors. What matters most is knowing shrinking circles don't define worth. Those who remain often value you most. A single genuine talk can mean more than many casual chats. The fear of loneliness is real, but the future need not be empty. By staying connected, walks with neighbors, calls, or small groups, fear becomes companionship. The road ahead may be quieter, but still filled with warmth and belonging. When people think about fears of aging, they imagine health or money issues. But another underestimated fear is not in the body or bank account. It's in the heart, the lingering weight of betrayals and disappointments. Life is long, and no one escapes wounds. Broken friendships, promises, or loved ones absent in crisis resurface with age. The future feels shorter, and the past feels closer. Chloe Bashi, after her husband's death, reached out to friends she once called family. But many drifted away. Some avoided grief, others avoided responsibility. She felt abandoned. More than a decade later, Chloe admits, "It's not that I don't trust people. It's that I don't trust myself to rely on them anymore." She chooses solitude, even while longing for company. Disappointment changes how we see the future. If trust was broken once, what ensures it won't happen again? The result is caution, hesitation, even withdrawal. Psychologists call this anticipatory distrust, expecting the future to mirror past pain. It protects from hurt but also blocks joy. Guarding too tightly can close doors before they open. Betrayal fears appear in families too. A sibling who avoided caregiving. Each adds doubt. Will they be there next time? Broken dreams also weigh heavily. Career stalled, marriages ended, goals unfinished. When young, we think I still have time. In later years, time feels unforgiving, fueling anxiety about the future. Yet betrayal also carries wisdom. Seniors see human nature clearly. They know promises can be broken, but resilience is real. They know loss, but also love. This duality grows wisdom. Henry, Bashu, betrayed by a business partner, avoided trust for years. Later, he realized betrayal taught discernment. I don't assume honesty or dishonesty. I look at actions. Henry's lesson past pain can guide rather than chain us. With compassion, seniors can approach the future with cautious openness, avoiding false promises, but embracing real bonds. Fear whispers at night. What if I trust again and get hurt? But the path forward is reinterpretation. Disappointments prove survival and resilience. Practical steps, unsent letters, support groups, small acts of trust help rebuild. The future is unwritten, with both challenges and kindness. Another psychological reason many seniors fear the future is the quiet, painful sense of becoming invisible. It's not just about being physically present. It's about feeling that your voice, stories, and wisdom no longer matter. In a world moving faster every day, Ella, 79, remembers family dinners, where her words guided conversations. Now her grandchildren are often absorbed in phones, and she repeats herself to be heard. It's not that they don't love me, she says, but my voice doesn't carry the same weight anymore. Psychologists call this social invisibility, which often grows with age. Society celebrates youth, speed, and productivity while overlooking the depth of experience. For seniors, this cultural shift can feel like erasure, both frustrating and frightening. The fear of irrelevance is tied to identity. Once decision makers, teachers, caregivers, or authorities, seniors may feel their significance fading. Yet relevance is not about volume, it's about meaning created in relationships, kindness, and shared wisdom. Even if society overlooks older adults, their presence leaves imprints. Stories told to grandchildren, advice to neighbors, a smile in the grocery store. These small acts ripple beyond what is seen. The fear of invisibility is real, but it doesn't define the future. Seniors remain carriers of memory, culture, and love. The challenge is not to fight for the spotlight, but to remember worth is not measured by noise, but by depth. Two profound psychological reasons. Seniors' fear the future are linked. Life's unpredictability and the awareness of mortality. These core truths make the future feel uncertain. Unpredictability appears in daily life. One day you feel clear and steady. The next day fatigue, pain, or a stumble arrives unexpectedly. These shifts make the future feel unstable. Seniors wonder, if I feel fine today, will tomorrow bring a setback? Psychologists explain that humans crave stability. Routine comforts us, but aging introduces unpredictable changes. This uncertainty can shrink life, not from lost ability, but from fear of the unexpected. Layered on top is mortality. With age, réflexions deepen. Questions emerge. What will happen when I'm gone? Will my family be okay? Will I be remembered? These are not morbid, but deeply human. Robert Bashar journals each morning. He no longer worries about career or possessions, but about legacy, what stories, values, and love he will leave behind. Mortality, for him, is about meaning in the life he's still living. Fear of death is less about the moment itself and more about the unknown around it. Will it hurt? Will dignity be lost? Will I face it alone? Such questions make the future feel heavy. Yet facing mortality can bring clarity. Seniors often find life's limits, Push them to focus on family, friendships, faith, and simple joys. Accepting unpredictability doesn't erase fear, but transforms it into mindfulness. Though uncertainty and mortality stir unease, they can serve as teachers. They remind us time is precious. Each day not guaranteed, and meaning lies in presence, not control. If you've ever felt uneasy about the years ahead, remember, fear of the future is not weakness. It reflects how deeply you value life, relationships, and dignity. Each worry about health, loneliness, or legacy comes from love and awareness. The 7 psychological reasons: loss of control, fear of being a burden, loneliness, past disappointment, invisibility, unpredictability, and mortality are not flaws. They are natural responses to aging, and within each fear lies wisdom. Fear of losing health shows independence matters. Fear of being a burden shows love for family. Even fear of death reminds us each day is precious. You are not alone. Millions of seniors share these feelings, though often unspoken. The future is not only decline, connection, and new meaning. Meet it with courage and presence. Reflect on your own path. Which fear speaks most to you? What step this week, sharing feelings, journaling, or reaching out, could bring comfort? If this video gave reassurance, consider subscribing or sharing it with someone who needs comfort. Together, we can turn fear of the future into wisdom for living fully in the present.